Hello there, amazing humans, incredible creatives. I'm Samaj. This is Creating with Samaj. Welcome. If you're new here, it's great to have you. If you're returning, it's day 29. Can you believe it? Day 29 of 30 of us painting together intuitively, just seeing what shows up. If you're ready to paint today for the next 20 minutes, I'm ready to paint with you. We have my friend Charles Owens performing. You can see him on YouTube. He is a jazz saxophonist. He is with his quartet, and this is live from Smalls that was recorded back in January of last year of 23, and hopefully he'll be back to Smalls again soon, and we can look forward to seeing him. Right now, we are going to get started with our watercolor today. We have our Canson XL paper. We have our Oval 16. And if you're ready, I'm ready. Don't know what's going to show up today, but we will see what's going to show up. I got a notification today from YouTube that I have been qualified to go live. So, we may have a live show coming up soon. Can I just tell you I love this water bottle? I highly recommend it. I don't know what brand it is, but I'll try to find it. But it's just this cool air mist bottle. Great for using for your watercolors. We have a piece of hair there. Oh, there's a hair there too. You know, I have kitty cats, so hair gets in places. So what's going to show up today? I think today it's just going to be a matter of feeling maybe it's an abstract. Is barking in the background. Please don't do that. Thank you. That was much better. We are working on him not barking at everything that comes by, and usually it's a sporadic, absolute out of control bark. So him responding like that was really good. So why do we do this practice? Why is this important? It's important for us to have a little time to escape and get away, have some time to think, to process information, ideas, come up with ideas, create solutions, and find new ways to come at problems and solutions. And you only are allowed to do that when you allow yourself and put yourself in a space that creates space for that to happen. And when you step into a creative space, a flow state, it allows you to access delta and theta waves that bring you to a different level of understanding in your cognitive subconscious brain. So while you are being immersed in whatever activity you might be doing, remember, we always talk about that your creative process does not have to be painting. That's just us dedicating time together. What your creative process is during this time could and may be something completely different, and I applaud you for having a practice that you keep showing up to, because ultimately that is the most important thing we want to do, is keep showing up to our practice, because when we do so, it allows us an opportunity to have a conversation with a different part of ourselves, a part of ourselves that sometimes doesn't know what to use in words to communicate, but can through imagery and through emotion in color and shape. So remember that not all communication that we have with ourselves is necessarily verbal. Sometimes it's nonverbal conversations and communications that we have with ourselves that become the most important. They are the most revealing. We only get there when we allow space for that to happen, when we allow ourselves to get into that state of flow, into that state of play. Whatever your creative practice is, I trust it keeps moving you in a direction that feels like joy. Because when you feel joyful about that which you do and it excites you, when you think about coming to it, it keeps you coming back to it again and again. And I'll admit, when you're finished, the end result is always so surprising, especially in an intuitive process. It's unlike other processes of painting. We don't sit down with a plan. We don't sit down with an idea, a structure. We just literally go with the flow and do whatever shows up. And today, for me, it seems to be this different sort of abstract. And this is fun and enjoyable. And I don't know where it's going or where it's going to lead, but I also don't question the process, because the process is just being in the state of discovery and learning and exploring and seeing. Like just the ability to see how these colors are blending on the paper. Even though this isn't 100% cotton, the colors are still having that explosive quality in some areas. And I think it's determined on the amount of water that may or may not be added to what we're working with. But it's fun to see how those color moves and disperses, much the way watercolor is intended and supposed to do. It has that ability to move and flow in the direction that it is wanting to because of the water. Remember, water is the medium that you're working with, and it is the color that pigments that water so you can see visually how it moves. It's like activating the molecules of water with pigment to see how they respond. It's a very exciting thing to be witness to. So just enjoy that while you are in the process of creating whatever it is that you are creating, especially in watercolor. Be present with the exploration and the discovery. Be present with the things that you're learning and what you're seeing in the experience and what you're learning from the experience. It's from that and that learning, that being present in that space, that we grow and we learn new exciting things, not only about ourselves, but about the process of doing. And so that's one of the reasons we keep coming back to intuitive painting, so we can have quiet conversations with ourselves, without all the noise from the outside, without the judgment, and just being in what I like to refer to as my safe zone, creating whatever I want to create for me, and for no other reason but for me. And I'm here sharing this with you because I think sometimes we have to support each other in what we're doing. And I'm no artiste, but I do enjoy being in the creative mode and creating. It brings me joy, and especially spending time with you brings me joy. always fun to see what happens when the colors kiss up against each other. So I really appreciate you being here and devoting this time to dedicating some space for you to discover new parts of yourself. And I know it's hard and we have expectations in this world that we live in, but I want you to keep showing up here without any expectation whatsoever, and in just enjoying the process of however and whatever shows up when it shows up. Because part of playing is connecting with that small child inside of us that is always there regardless of our age, regardless of how much we think we've matured. That child is inside of us that we carry everywhere with us in every situation. So it's important, especially as adults, that we get in touch with that little one and we spend maybe a little bit more time enjoying the experience of discovering where we left off with that little one and how that little one grew up and how it chooses to play as an adult and how its perspective with all of its life experience, especially at 50 or 60, you have so much to share. And that little kid has so much to share. But it can only do that when you give it the opportunity to come out and play. So spend a little time with that child within you. Knock on the door, have him come out, ask him to play, because the time spent is always well spent. Just like the time spent with you is always well spent. You know, if you like the content, it's always great to have a like or a share. And if you'd like to become a subscriber, I would love that. And thank you to all of my new subscribers that have recently joined me. It's a pleasure to have you on board. We only have one more day left of this adventure, this creating together. And we have to keep in mind that we will still keep on creating together. However it shows up, it'll show up in some way, in some form. It may not be watercolor, it may be something else. It could be clay, it could be just drawing. It could be something, but it is going to be creative, involving tools and art. That's the creativity that I can show you here for 20 minutes every day. I so appreciate your time and your attention, you showing up with me. You know, this is always the best part. Remember, it's Friday. I trust that you get out and do something fun today. Take a little time to embrace the moment, to be in the moment, and to just enjoy this special thing called life. And I've lost my pen. Let me find that. Where did it go? There we go. Let's move this up into camera, because was I doing the whole thing out of camera? I apologize if I was, but let's just take an overall view of what we did here and see the piece from all angles. Thank you for showing up today. I appreciate your time and your attention. I'm Samaj. This is Creating with Samaj. Until next time, I trust you have the most amazing day.